Payoneer was founded in 2005. It's 11 years ago. And the reason that Yuval Tal, who's our founder and he's still active president of the company, the reason he founded Payoneer was that he really had seen that the world around him and the world around us had changed dramatically. And already 11 years ago, 11 years is quite a while, but the internet had changed the way that businesses were operating. And now it created this time where with the internet you could connect through freelance marketplaces, connect through e-commerce marketplaces, through vacation rental marketplaces, with buyers and sellers anywhere in the world being able to connect and be able to sell services and merchandise to each other globally as easily as they were doing locally. And this is an amazing change that really happened within a generation, and that was because of the internet. The one problem was that banking and the banks hadn't changed at anywhere near the same pace as the way that business had changed. And we saw this opportunity, Yuval saw this opportunity to be able to create an online payments platform that would help businesses to be able to transact globally as easily as they do locally, and in some markets even easier than it can be done locally. And that was the founding idea of why there was a need for Payoneer.
What differentiates Payoneer from other online payment systems?
So there are a lot of different online payment solutions that are out there that are serving different purposes. PayPal, for example, is an excellent solution that was founded before us, and they do so many different things, and a large amount of what they do is consumer payments. There are also remittance services, which I know in the Philippines is very important for all the OFWs who are sending money back home, that is P2P, people sending money to their friends and family. What Payoneer decided to focus in on, and I think this is a very important lesson for all founders and entrepreneurs, is focus. And you can sometimes shoot a little bit too wide and become offering a whole load of different things to a whole load of different types of use cases, but not become an expert in anything. What we decided to do is focus on B2B, focus on businesses that need to transact with businesses, and create a suite of tools, an all-in-one solution that would enable them to be able to receive payments, to send payments really easily. And that's what we specialize, and that's what makes us unique. So that's how we've managed to forge this space as the leading online B2B cross-border payments platform.
So I'm sure you know that the internet connection in the Philippines is very problematic. So do you think that internet speed affects the delivery of payments for Payoneer users?
No, I think that first off, you're right. In the Philippines, internet is one of the most important things to a freelancer or a small business conducting business globally, right? The government is spending a lot to invest in infrastructure to enable the betterment of what we have today. Internet per se doesn't necessarily affect Payoneer and its service, right? It's really more of something that freelancers or our customers need to be able to do the work that they do, right? For Payoneer, we actually ride on infrastructure that is there and that is made to be robust and resilient, because our payments, we always ensure that they are secure and fast.
Can you tell me a little bit about the company history during the startup phase of Payoneer? Like, what are the challenges that you faced and how you built the platform?
Yeah, so the company went through various phases. At the first phase, you could say the first 5 years of Payoneer, it was very much a focus on marketplaces. So we offered a solution to marketplaces like Odesk and Elance, which eventually merged into Upwork, the leading freelance marketplace, to enable them to be able to pay out to their freelancers around the world. So we sold them the solution. The solution they offered was a card-based product, a prepaid card-based product that we were offering, and that's how we started to grow. So lots of different service providers or sellers that were active on marketplaces were able to take advantage of our service. The next phase of the company was starting to broaden that platform much further, deepen it, and allow different use cases. So, for example, a business owner or a freelancer that's working directly with their clients worldwide, to give them the tools to be able to expand their business themselves. So that opened up our platform so that anyone could come to Payoneer.com and sign up for a Payoneer account and start using it in more ways. And over the years, we've been always trying to keep our ear to the market very closely, listening to our customers, asking them questions, and trying to understand. And things change pretty quickly. trying to understand what is it that our customers need, what is it that today's entrepreneurs and freelancers need in order to be able to grow their business globally, and make sure that we are on the cutting edge of offering innovative solutions to those challenges. So we've offered additional ways to receive money, additional ways to be able to withdraw those funds, and basically make the entire goal of global growth something that's much more seamless and easier for the entrepreneur.
If there's one advice you can give to a freelancer or business about how to market a product or service effectively, what would it be?
There was one theme that came up several times in today's Payoneer Forum, and that theme was grit. If you want to compete in the highly competitive world, so if you are a freelancer and you're entering into this global business, you are effectively competing for that business from millions of other people all around the world. So what is it that's going to make you unique? You need to look deep into what your talents are, how you can do things differently, address existing problems in a different way that nobody else is doing today, and be willing to go for it and battle it and fight and deliver. And when you've got that level of grit and commitment and dedication to the cause, then nothing will get in your way. So when it comes to taking, for example, your freelancer profile on Upwork or Freelancer or any other freelance marketplace, you've got to think, how do I make my profile the best it can possibly be?
I think the other thing, if I may just add, is that it always helps, especially when you're a freelancer or a small business, is to really put yourselves in the shoes of your client, because ultimately what the client is looking for is for you to understand and to learn what it is he needs, right? And this also, I think, came out during the forum today, which is, that theme of customer service, going the extra mile for the customer, right? Because once you establish that trust, once you get him to see that you understand his need and you have a solution for his need, then you become part of the solution, right?
How does Payoneer fight against fraud payment, hacking, and on-time payment delivery?
Okay, so a few questions there. So let's first address fraud and risk. So one of the largest challenges for any payments solution is being able to ensure that the money that comes in is being done so for good reason and for good purpose, and to make sure that the system remains clean. Payoneer, I think one of the reasons that we've carved out this space as the expert in B2B payments is because we have built such a robust risk and compliance program that ensures that every single customer goes through a KYC, and Know Your Customer process, that we make sure that everybody who is part of our network is there, dedicated to contributing and to providing services and providing merchandise, and doing so in good faith. So that is the number one priority for any payments solution, and we do it exceptionally well. The second part of your question about how do you deal with late payments and no payments at all. So this is something that we've recently rolled out a service called the billing service. The billing service is a way that any freelancer or business around the world that is doing contracting with a client, say in the United States, can send them a payment request from their Payoneer account saying, hey, will you pay me the $1,000 as the first payment for developing your app? The client, the recipient, will receive that email and say, okay, yeah, I'll pay now, and click on the pay now, and they get a host of options to pay with credit card or bank or whatever. Let's say they don't click on that email right then. They get it, and the client forgets about it. It happens. I've been that client before that forgets to pay. So we know that 85% of freelancers say that they suffer from late payments, not because the payment solution has delayed it, but because the client just forgot, or passed it on to finance, and finance left it on a pile or whatever. What Payoneer has realized, and we heard it from our customers, is that one way that can really help is to send reminders to, so if a few days have passed and the payment still hasn't been made, that we can automatically send out a reminder saying, because we know that payment's not been sent because they received the email and they didn't complete the payment, so we can send out those reminders, and that is something that we are seeing a very high correlation between the frequency of those reminders, if the reminder is sent, the likelihood of the payment actually being made. So that is an example of how Payoneer is helping that freelancer to be able to battle the problem of late payments.
It was mentioned in the panel earlier about the learning experiences. Can you guys share some of your learning experiences, like in the business? You can include
Maybe
some
that's
epic
for me,
fails.
because I've just actually been in in the business for 4 months, right? And one of the things that I learned quite quickly is that Payoneer is quite serious about the focus and the determination to really carve out its name and its reputation in business-to-business payments. When I first heard about the company, I started thinking about all sorts of different other related use cases where payments could be made. Remittances, OFW, remittances is just a huge market here in the Philippines, right? But when I brought these ideas up, the management was always very much, listen, we know that that's a big market, but guess what? Business-to-business payments is actually even bigger globally. It's at tens of trillions of dollars in terms of value, right? So we don't need to look at that because there's so much more that we can do in this space. And that focus and that recognition of where the opportunity is and sort of finding your true north, right? This is what I really like about my experience so far in Payoneer, is that they know where their true north is. They are focused on achieving their true north, right? And they are positioning themselves to be able to be successful by doing that.
Where do you see Payoneer 5 years from now?
Should I go first?
Yes.
5 years from now, where will Payoneer be? So Payoneer's been on this journey of trying to open up, and I think we started out as a prepaid card solution. We then came on to more of a solution, and now we view ourselves as more of a platform. What do we mean by a platform? A platform is something that's open, that different uses, different businesses that either need to send or need to receive, or want to receive from marketplace, or want to receive directly, or want to receive large amounts, small amounts from different countries in different currencies, is being able to open up that platform and enable whatever use case to be able to plug into it and be able to take advantage of it. So one example that we shared earlier on in the forum is we've just made an acquisition of a company called Armor Payments, a company from California, who we brought us into part of the Payoneer family. They offer an escrow solution. Escrow is a way of being able to bridge the trust gap, where, let's say, for example, you've got a seller of merchandise and a buyer in a different country, and the buyer wants to buy 10,000 tables, and the seller says, okay, well, I'll ship you the 10,000 tables when you send me the payment. But the buyer doesn't want to send the payment until he receives tables. So you've got this, neither of them wants to act first because they don't know each other. They've only interacted, say, through the internet. And that's where Armor Payments comes in, by being able to say, well, put the payment in escrow, we'll hold on to it until the transaction has been made. Once the payment has been received and the merchandise has been delivered, then we'll release the funds. And that's something that's going to become part, so we're integrating it now as part of the Payoneer offering, to allow definitely for those bigger sale items where there is a little bit more of risk involved in releasing the payment before the service or the goods have been delivered, to be able to bridge that gap. And that's our plan, is to continually find use cases where these small businesses or large businesses can benefit from having these greater financial solutions and payment solutions integrated within our platform.
What are some of the challenges that you faced when starting Payoneer here in the Philippines?
Building that element of trust in the brand and in the service, because when it comes to payments and when it comes to money, trust is the most important thing that you can impart on your potential customer. Customer has to trust you. Customer has to be confident that you will facilitate the transfer of funds, right? And I think that what Payoneer did really was they went out there, right? They proved their credentials, right? They shared what the company has done, what the company is doing, where the company sees itself, right? They've also worked with the likes of MasterCard, right? Who don't allow just any online payment solution, because you have to have certain credentials, like you have to be PCI DSS, PA DSS accredited, right? Which is a certain level of standard in the payment industry that ensures that your facilities and the methods that you use to transmit the payments are secured and encrypted, right? And as we start now, with me having just joined the team about 4 months ago now, my challenge really now is how do I growth hack this, okay? Because this is the reality. I think that the opportunity in the Philippines is huge, right? With the energy that we had just in the forum just now, you see that everyone is going to go home, they're going to research, and they're going to say, what can I do to go online, right? And there are so many opportunities that for me, how do I growth hack this? How do I do 10 things at once when I can only choose 5, right? That's one of the challenges. And again, it comes back to focus, right? And so the discussions and the strategy for the local market are very much predicated on Payoneer's focus in growing the business in a way that is sustainable, that is scalable, right? And that has the long term in mind. Our CEO told me before I joined the company that this is a company that thinks about the future and wants to be able to get out of bed in the morning knowing that we're doing the right thing for ourselves and for our customers.
What advice would you give to those who want to start their own business?
So I think that we learned in today's Payoneer Forum in Cebu City so many different tips and ideas for entrepreneurs that are looking to either start a business or expand their business globally out to the Philippines. And there are so many different challenges that we face along the way, whether those challenges, some challenges that were discussed today, for example, are the cultural ones. We're a Philippines-based business. How do we approach the United States where cultural norms are different? Other challenges we spoke about are the challenges of scale. That, yeah, I'm really good at it and I can do it myself, but if I want to be able to expand, I have to be able to bring in other people, whether founders, co-founders, or employees, that I can grow and invest in them and they can do the job as well as me or even better than me. So there's so many different challenges that we have. Another one is being unique and how do you address challenges and competition and finding your niche, and is what if I feel that what I'm doing is exactly the same as what they're doing? How do I make myself stand out? And I think one of the comments that we had during the panel discussion of compete and win is, I think, for me, no magic formula. If there was a magic formula that you could write in a blog post of 3 things you have to do, then everybody would go off and do it. There are all of these different things, but when it comes down to it, it's about having the heart and the desire to go about it and compete and win.